right, hello everyone, and welcome back to my comfy corner where I talk about things that make me comfy and cozy so I can stop bothering the people around me. And today, hello, welcome, hi, welcome to the new year. It's already on fire. Let's not think and talk about that right now. A lot has happened and a lot has changed. One of which is I know for those that have been watching me for a while, this is different, right? We're missing my iconic lore crafting spiral wall, and I decided for the new year it's time to change it up. And I guess the cards were done too, because they just started falling off on their own. By the new year started, they were all just down. And so we will have a mini moment of silence for all of the theory crafting that I had. And moment done. It's the new year. Let's enjoy. And yes, this is the official Hyperfocus VR Experience TXT poster that I got. And I do not have just one, I have two. And that's a whole fun story for a whole fun other day. But yes, this is it. And this will be the new wall for the year. Woo! Other things that are new, if you see a ring and I'm flashing it, I'm not doing it on purpose, but yes, your girl is engaged. And very happily engaged. So I just wanted to put that on the open. And third, I know what you're thinking, Tiana, what is this constant stream of light? My lovely fiance found better lighting for me, and now hopefully we're a little bit more consistent, though my camera's gonna focus anyway because your girl's chocolate. But better lighting, better pizza, better poster. You know, we're doing it all big and better. So what better way to start off the new year of me being very inconsistent with my posting schedule for my YouTube channel, but to talk about the main thing that made me start my YouTube last year. It's TXT. I know. No, it's not going to change. No, it's not going to get any better. I thought this was the perfect way to do it. So, as the title says, I will be breaking down Sanctuary. And for the girlies that were wondering where I was when Sanctuary came out, I was asleep. I was enjoying my life. I was getting engaged. Like, I don't know what you want from me, honestly. There really isn't much to talk about. So this first video, believe it or not, won't be like 1,000,000,001 hours long. It'll probably be very short because there's not much to really say about Sanctuary. And that's not a negative. I love Sanctuary. In fact, fun fact about me, if you ever wanted to know what album is my favorite album overall, the Star album, the very first album, Star album, has been my favorite. Just because it's the beginning. I love the lore that it was done. I love the visuals of it. And just, I will listen to the Star album from front to back easily. And so the fact that this is the Star chapter Sanctuary is even more crazy, because I think this album may be my favorite now. Like the original Star album will still be my favorite of all time just because of the iconicness, but like favorite overall is now Star Sanctuary. So I love all the songs. I have literally listened to the album on repeat, front and back and sideways. Okay. And honorable mention for visuals. I love the visuals for the Star chapter. It's great. However, I will say visuals out of the TXT line albums is still Temptation. I just think they hit the nail on that one. And as much as I love the visuals for the Star chapter, I don't think that it's fair that there's like 3 different versions and they're doing 3 different things. And I don't think that's fair to judge it overall, because I like each one individually, but all together doesn't make a story. Anyways, enough of my ribbles and rambles. Just a little housekeeping note. If you see me looking down left, right, or center, I'm looking at my notes. I'm trying, I say this every time, I try to stay with my notes, believe it or not, girlies. I do. Sometimes I ribble and ramble, but this is my YouTube, and who's gonna stop me but me? And another thing, I'm still getting used to this lighting, and I'm still trying to get used to my positioning. And so if you see me darken a little bit, I'm getting used to this new lighting, girl. The production girl has gone up, okay? And with all of that being said, let's get down into the iconic breaking down of this new album. Okay, so first off, we're going to start off with Heaven. Now, what I would like to say as a side note is, if you have not looked at my part series of breaking down and ordering all of the TXT songs for the official TXT lore, please do. I have made a playlist of it. I think it's probably at least a day's worth of work of you zoning out and or falling asleep to it at this point. But it is a fun time. So if you're coming from that, just know that everything that I'm going to say and explain is happening after the lore. I'm still on the fence on if this is new lore or if this is like just adding on to what we already know and then we're extending it. So I'm going to bounce in and out of it being a part of the lore and not a part of the lore. It doesn't really matter because if it is a part of the lore, this genuinely is like at the tail end of it. Recap, we left off with the boys getting out of the dream world, you know, defeating the cat. They're back in their dream world and they're just having a grand old time. They defeated and they're growing older and they know that they could just live in the real world and not stay in delusion land. And if none of those things make sense, yeah, go back and watch whatever. But we're starting off with the first song, which is Heaven. And basically, Heaven is just a song about having a crush, having a girl crush crushy. Like, I don't know. It's the whole album itself is just the story about falling in love. And I feel like, again, this ties into the lore of like, hey, this is the end. We're all happy. We're growing up. And I feel like this is them growing up. And this is their first crush in their stages of grief. Not stages of grief, but their stages and cycles of going through that, going through your first real love. And I think it's a very cute concept. If it is a part of the hours of lore that I did, I think that's a great wrap up, and I think that's a great like way to end previous lore, move on to new thing, or like just add to the tail end, but we're gonna do something different. We're gonna make it move and shake, bounce and jiggle, maybe gyrate. And so I love that for them. In Heaven, oh, Heaven, do do do. Oh my goodness, it's a bop, certified at fact. And so yeah, it's just basically them having a crush on somebody, and just sort of falling in love with them, whether it be like a, you know, movie they just walk past and it's like, oh, they're cute, maybe they're a classmate, maybe they're a college mate, maybe they work together. But yeah, that's essentially what Heaven is all about, just having a cute little crush on someone. Okay, next, this is where it gets juicy, girlies. Okay, so I just said last one, Heaven was really cute. It's flirtatious. We're just falling in love. We're getting to know someone. You know, we're building up the feelings. So in between Heaven and Over the Moon, I in my head canon, in my lore dump of the songs between the two, at some point the boys. I'm saying the boys because there's no real way to say who it is, and at this point, I'm just gonna assume that all the boys simultaneously had a crush at the same time and they're talking about it in the dream world. I'll get to it when I get to it. Best believe I'm gonna get to it when I get to it. And so yeah, in between Heaven and Over the Moon, they decide to axe out their crush. I know, scary thing. It's a scary thing for anybody to do. I'm shocked that it happened so fast. I mean, this is a mini album, so I guess we're getting a mini story. And so in between the songs, they axe their whoever out and they say yes to a first date. And so that's what Over the Moon is about. They're like over the moon that they said yes, that they're gonna go on this date, that they're super excited, that they're proud of themselves for even asking him out. And that's the vibe of Over the Moon. Okay, next up is Danger. And so I know what I just said the previous thing. Like, we're happy, we're giggles, we're smiling, everything's going fantastic. But now this is the part where, like, the boys are realizing whether it's them talking to each other or just within themselves, like, she said yes, or he said yes, or they said yes. I'm not going to assume the gender of whoever's falling in love, and honestly, it could be whoever. But they said yes, but will they really like me? Will the date go well? Well, what would I wear? What's gonna happen? It's giving all of those like anxiety vibes, girlies. Okay, they're like, yeah, they said yes, but like, what do I do now? Like, how should I present myself? What if it doesn't go well? What if I hate them? What if they hate me? Like, that's exactly what Danger is. Is like, I'm in danger. Like, what am I gonna do? What's gonna happen? How should I feel about this? Because I'm happy on the one hand, but I'm stressed out on the other hand. And then the next song, we're going to address what happens and how they respond. So yeah, after Danger, what happens next is we get into Resist. No one can escape. Cause I don't wanna live without you. Like a bop. all of them are bops. All of them are sort of like, I would play this if YouTube wouldn't strike me right now. I would play the whole album and just sit and be like, what do you want me to say? It's a simple story, but they're all bops. So Resist, Not Gonna Run Away, is basically just them being like, after they have their little mini panic attack, reasonable, especially since this is your first crush, your first love, your first ooh. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna stand 10 tones down for my significant other. I'm gonna stand 10 tones down for this date. I'm not gonna run away. I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna give it a good faith try. Even if it doesn't work out, I know that I put effort in because I really like you. I really have a crush on you, and I want this to go well. And so I'm just gonna get up all the courage, and we're gonna do this together, right? And again, I want you to know that like throughout all of this, the person that they're talking about and going on their date really isn't like in front of them as they're going through this. This is probably happening in the course of a couple of days. I'm envisioning when they say date, like maybe they ask them out on a Monday, the date's on a Friday or a Saturday. So like this is over a couple of days max, maybe a week, depending on when in their headcanon. In my headcanon, I'm saying about a week max, but like maybe it's even longer. I doubt. But they're just getting revved up for this date. I imagine the boys are probably hyping each other up, and I'll get into that next song on my thoughts on that. But yeah, basically they're like, you know what? This may be a scary feeling. This may be putting myself out there, but I'm not going to resist. I'm not going to ruin this for myself. I'm going to just keep going. Iconic. Okay, next is, I think, my favorite song next to probably Resist, but I think it's my favorite song out of this album and definitely in my top list. I know I need to do a ranking of like my favorite songs and stuff after everything that I did, like maybe my top 10 songs. I don't know, we'll see. But 41 Winks, oh my goodness, it is a vibe, it's a bop, it's in everything. The vocals, yes, I love it. And so 41 Winks is where I start believing like maybe this is a part of my 100 hours of lore that I created, and the boys still have their powers in their dream world. The cat is tamed, and this is like in the happily ever after. Like this is after happily ever after. They've gotten older. They have their own lives. They're doing their own thing, but they still come back into the dream world to talk about what happened. So I'm envisioning 41 Weeks is them getting their like last night of sleep before the date. So this is the night before the date, and the boys are basically just talking about it in the dream world and being like, yeah, I can't wait for this date. You know, it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be fly. We're gonna, you know, and the boys are probably hyping each other up. I'm glad the cat is tamed because honestly, if this was a part of the lore, and I don't want to jinx it with their new album, if they have a new album this year and they're just like, actually the cat was the seductress and they get their heart broken and we're back in like chaos chapter era, we're back to Thursday's Child. I'm not mentally prepared for all of that, okay? We already got a lot of chaos going on. let's just be happy in this mini album. Let's just have this little bit of happiness, okay? Cool. And so yeah, that's what 41 Winks is about. It's like the night before they have their date. They're super pumped and amped. They're trying to get ready. They're talking with their guy friends. You know, they're talking with the girlies together in their dream world, just, you know, hamming it up, having a grand old time before the very last song, which is basically the outcome of the date. Okay, and last but certainly not least is Higher Than Heaven, which is also a certified bop. Do I need to keep saying it? This album, from front to back, cover to cover, in between the pages, you read between the lines, and the lion. Okay, it is amazing. Iconically amazing. And honestly, kudos on you boys. I don't think you guys understand what the concept of a break is, because right now you guys are supposed to be on break. And like every day since your unofficial official break, one, you guys have been coming out with concert dates, which is like, I thought you were supposed to be taking a break, but then also like they keep posting on Weverse in social media, and I'm not saying they can't do that on their break, but it's like, are you doing this because you genuinely want to, or are you doing this because the company's making you? Because like, what is break? What does 1 2 3 break mean to you, right? I don't think all of Hybe understands what the word break means, and like maybe it's a translation issue, but like when I think of break, I think of relaxation, I think of rest, I think of unplugging, unwinding, finding a new hobby to do. And they think, you know what, a break is just, I'm not gonna go on another tour for 2 weeks. Sorry, that's not about that. This is about the song Higher Than Heaven. Basically, the date went well. It went phenomenal, ladies, okay? It went so great that they're like, you know what? I am so glad I was brave and I fought my anxieties and my fears and danger, and that I talk with the girlies. And I know that they're not girlies, but you get the girlies are universal. They talk with the boys, they talk with their brosefs, okay, and they're just like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And then it's like them either reporting back in Dream World or them just being ecstatic overall, being like, it was phenomenal. This person's amazing. I love them, and the date went phenomenal. This is a great happy ending. Roses, flowers, and the cutscene, and we're at the end. So yeah, I'm not even gonna cut away to my conclusion. I'm just gonna do it now and here. There really wasn't much to talk about. Overall, it's a really cute love story. It's a really cute cycle of falling in love and the little in-betweens of that, and it going well and it working out well. I hope the next album isn't like, she broke my heart, she cheated on me, or he cheated on me, or they cheated on me, and I am crushed and I'm back to bad boy. I hope it's not that. I really do. I do hope we move on. We do new visuals, we do new story, we do new lore. Just because, like, if I see another cat, I may lose it. I may, like, that may be like the crack in the wall for me, you know? So, that is that, Cat in the Hat. I'm so glad to be back. And if you made it this far in the video, thank you for listening to my ribbles and rambles. Thank you for being here with me for the new year. I know that it's not looking great, especially if you reside in the US right now, and that is to whatever degree you want it to be. But let's just enjoy. Let's just have fun while we can. Let's just talk about and do things that make us happy, because in a time of uncertainty, the only thing you could be certain of are the things that make you happy. And with all of that being said, if you love this video and you want to see more of what I do next and when I post next, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell. Is that what YouTubers say nowadays? And with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching and listening to my ribbles and rambles, and I will see you next video. Bye!